Hello everyone, I'm Saanvi Singh. I'm going to start out with this painting. I came across this painting a while back. I think it really made me sit back and introspect. Poet Anita Krizan encapsulates it completely by her quote, "We are mosaics, pieces of light, love, history, stars, glued together with magic and music and words." Who are you really? What part of you is only selectively and authentically you? Our language is gifted to us. Our personality is influenced by our company. Our choices are shaped by circumstances. We are mosaics of all the people that have ever existed in our timeline. Each time we see, meet, talk to, and note that we may never meet that person again, they leave some part of themselves with us, like a sweater knitted from different threads. This is why, to truly know ourselves, we have to always learn. Humans are such appallingly bewitching creatures. We have made the most exquisite thing in the world, learning, seem odious. Learning to its core is an insatiable desire to keep pursuing more wisdom. Learning is a value that has fueled not just our mere existence, but also enabled us to craft a life lived extensively. When I was a kid and I had trouble falling asleep, I used to imagine the craziest stories. I used to live with them until sleep came. Being fascinated by scholastic book fairs was always a joy. Then one day, I saw the most fantastical book in a friend's hand, a fairy tale about a fairy that saves her city. And one thing led to another, and I'm sure I've read more than 300 books since then. I've had so many better stories to accompany me too. Most of the foundation and the framework of my opinions and the knowledge I have has been crystallized because of the things I read. I will be asking you all a few questions now. I don't seek their answers, but I want you to. The constellations we study now were studied ago ages as well, recognized even before. We share the same sky leaders did, the same one that overlooked wars. How can you not want to learn? Don't learn for satisfaction, learn to feel alive, learn to live, learn to be human. How many of you have ever felt overwhelmed by how much knowledge is simply floating around you? Or been confused in choosing a favorite subject? Me too. I've always found it so difficult to answer when someone asks me what my favorite subject is. It's impossible for me to choose because I just love everything. Yes, I owe a lot of it to my credit-worthy teachers, but it's also because of the fact that each of the topics endlessly absorbs you. Do you feel the pure bliss that storms across your face when you realize just how developed yet unaware we remain of what lies beyond the blanket of twinkling dots above our head? It baffles me that we feel sorrow at this unawareness. Does it not present us with an unparalleled opportunity to learn more? Ignorance is not bliss. It's a threat. Would you rather be disturbed by not knowing something or be momentarily perturbed by knowledge which is going to help you succeed in all walks of life? Constantly learning from everything keeps us on our toes, yes. However, it also leads to smarter decisions. Who do you think is more likely to burn themselves? A child who is unaware of why he is not supposed to touch the iron, or one who has already been burned by an iron? The pandemic was easy for none. My transition from being a child to an adolescent happened during lockdown. All children who have dealt with this transitory period would agree when I say that it was exceptionally difficult for us. The heightened emotions, newer opinions, irrational thoughts, and the terrifying experience we had no one to share with. And as a cherry on the cake, I changed schools during this time. Educational boards too. Of course, it takes time to adapt to a new place, doesn't it? So, the thing is, you can convey words through messages. To understand experiences, you'll have to look into the eyes of the person sharing them. You can't do that online. So, I found myself gravitating towards something that is as crucial to me as breathing. During lockdown, I taught myself to write poems. You see, I'd spent years being the reader, and at that time, I was absolutely done with being on one end of the thread. One January evening, while I was down in the bed with seasonal fever, scrolling through the photo gallery of my mother's phone, I came across the picture of a writing competition I had wanted to sign up for. I wondered if there are people out there winning these competitions. Why can't I just write simply for the sake of participating? I spent the next hour penning my thoughts. Guess who hadn't realized that the due date for the competition had already passed? So after that, but I think I didn't need to. I felt so happy, I couldn't care less. Currently, I've filled 1.5 diaries with my poems and published a children's book at the beginning of this year. I've grown so much that the Saanvi who wrote the first poem wouldn't recognize me. You see, the same iron that rushes through the core of a dying star flows through your veins and keeps you alive. Why don't you want to learn? I was 7 when my grandfather passed away. He is the most vivid character from my childhood I see when I close my eyes. He was extremely learned and humble, a perfectionist who loved to play with technology, always keen on learning more, always willing. He was a professor, but there was not one day I saw him not come to his desk to learn more. He made me realize that once you gain knowledge, you sport a sense of humility and gratefulness. It helps you cherish life to the fullest, for in order to learn, you have to pay regard to the most atomic elements of life. He was extremely sensitive to beauty and physics. Whenever I see something that baffles me, a technological marvel or an architectural one, I always think, had he been here, he would have been so excited seeing this. But he's here, isn't he? All the time. Whenever someone recalls him, he's alive. He's alive in the habits he left me to continue. He's alive whenever someone wants to learn. The yearning to learn is common in all. However, learning itself is a privilege. I am so deeply sick with the gratitude I have for the reality I'm living. One where I'm allowed to learn without restraints, where my parents support me and I learn in an institution with teachers that fuel my passion. It's important to acknowledge this. There are simply so many things I want to learn that sometimes I feel this overwhelming rush of emotions I simply can't ignore. It's almost a survival instinct, the mind constantly murmuring to learn more. There is so much more. The feeling is so exquisite that words can't do it justice. The feeling of gaining knowledge is beautiful and overpowering. It's the sort of thing that if it chokes you down, you feel alive. Learning, knowing, not knowing, wanting to know. All of it makes us human. Our consciousness constantly seeks triggers so that it becomes wiser each day. A baby picks up on the words she hears instinctively. It's not just a survival mechanism given to us on a platter by evolution. It's something all atoms in our body know to their core we are made for. We are made to learn. However, whether we love that we are made to learn is something we adopt. I wasn't born with the desire to calculate the square of 16. I'm still young, but along my life so far, I've come to the realization that in order to live fully, I will have to love learning. And like any passion, you have to love even the ugly bits of it. We have to consistently cultivate a sensitivity and passion for knowledge. Learn from literature, science, art, and music. Learn from your teachers, parents, neighbors, and what an auto driver may have told you once. Learn from children. Learn anything and everything possible, and learn every second. A little disclaimer, to be socially and politically correct in this endeavor, don't go around learning from criminals. I do not hold responsibility for that. Learning makes you a being of the world. When you learn, you become a mosaic of all the people who had the ideas you are learning of. What you create is never truly only yours. When you write a poem about the stars, you mix yourself with the first human who gazed up and the first one who penned her thoughts. You become people you have never met, and they become you. Isn't that such a beautiful thing? Learning is a process, a journey, and wisdom is not a destination. It's a tree that sprouts new leaves and lets the dried ones fall off. It evolves. Its roots are not only your own, you share them with the world. This is what makes the world breathe anew. This is what life is. Life is learning. Thank you very much.